How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? So we are on day number 3 of the Storytime Marathon. We are gonna talk about the time that I got suspended for my hair. But before we do that, make sure you watch my first 2 story times of this week. I am doing a story time every single day, back to back for you guys. And yeah, after you do that, we can carry on to this one. Or you can just stick around for this one, but I do have many story times that I have done in the past and many coming up, so stay tuned for those as well. So this story dates back to my grade 10 or 11, and I had a friend, we will name her... I'm running out of names to name people. We're gonna name her Bonquiqui. I don't know why, but Bonquiqui and I were best friends in high school. We hung out all the time, we skipped class all the time, and that is basically where our story begins. I was skipping one day at school. For some reason this time we didn't get out of the school. Like usually when my friends and I would ditch class, you know, skip school, we would go somewhere. We would get out of school so we wouldn't get in trouble. But this day for some reason it just crossed. It did not crossed. It went over our heads. Is that how you say it? Is that how you say the expression? Anyways, we didn't think about it. We didn't think anything of just staying at the school, but we were walking around the hallways and we just got into this argument. My best friends and I in high school, especially Bonquiqui and I, used to low-key like bully each other, and we started bullying each other about our hair. So we were basically like, my hair's better, no, my hair is better, and we were going back and forth like that. I had very sleek virgin straight hair. I had never dyed it before. It was brown, and she had brown hair as well, way darker than mine, I believe, and it was very curly, and she put mousse in it. I did that sometimes too, but I did prefer, you know, my hair over hers, so that's kind of what we were arguing about. And she's like, no, mine's better. So I'll put a picture here of what that looked like so you can see the difference between the straight and the curly hair. So we got so heated into this argument and this competition that we were like, you know what, let's find out the truth by asking people. So we legit were like, let's be researchers today. We are being productive even though we're not in class. We are conducting a research survey that we're going to present to the board of hair presidents. We're going to appeal to the hair government. So basically we were going around, and anyone we saw in the hallways, you know, people who were going to the washroom, people who were coming out of gym class and changing or anything like that, we would ask, do you like her hair better or my hair better? It was so dumb, but it was so much fun. Honestly, we were like just bored and thought it'd be a good way to spend our time, I guess. We literally got out a sheet of paper and we were writing down, okay, so-and-so voted for me, so-and-so voted for you, and we were writing this down, having a jolly old time until a hall monitor came along. And this is what we call not a teacher at the school, but basically just an adult that their job is literally just to monitor students, to police them around, to make sure no one's skipping, make sure everyone's in class, ask people why they're in the hallways, oh, I'm going to the washroom or I'm doing this. And this teacher, I feel like she had seen us before, like leaving the school instead of going to class. And at least when I went to school, we only had spares, which meant that we had a free period, that we didn't have class in grade 12. And clearly we were grade 10s and 11s, and she had this information. Like she could go into the attendance and go into the office and have different students' information about their schedules and whatnot. So I feel like she just knew. She was on a mission, and she kind of asked us, what are you ladies doing? And we're like, So we knew. There's many times before where we could get away with lying to other hall monitors, but since this hall monitor was so familiar with us and basically everyone at the school, we were like, we're not gonna get out of this one. So basically we were like, Bonquiqui and I looked at each other and we're like, run. And we literally just booked it down the hallway. We went out of the school, and as we're running out of the school, she's like, hey, and she's like trying to chase after us. We're outside and she's like, get back here. She opens the door, but she's not going to chase us down like the street or anything, but she's like, get back here. And we're like, oh my god, we're gonna get in so much trouble, like whatever. And then we felt so bad, you know, like bad because we ran out of school and we got away with skipping. So we left the school, and I think we went to the mall or, you know, the local plaza. I'm not sure what we did after that, but basically we were like, oh, well, we got our survey, we got our results. I don't remember what the results were, who won the hair contest, but yeah, we left the school and we were like, well, we got away with that. Or so we thought. So the next day we show up to school and it was like they had a warrant out for our arrest. The hall monitor had told all of the hall monitors to look for us. They must have had a picture of us, what we looked like and everything, but literally all teachers and all hall monitors in the morning, because there's, you know, different teachers and hall monitors that would patrol the scene around in the morning before class started. And as soon as I entered the school, it was like a different hall monitor beelined it to me and they're like, you need to come to the office. And I'm like, oh. So I was taken to the office and I go to sit down by the receptionist, where there's like chairs there for you to kind of wait for whoever you're supposed to see in the office. And I see Bonquiqui. I'm like, girl, what did we get ourselves into? And she's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like she had experience getting suspended before. I had never ever been suspended or anything, but I feel like she knew, because she was literally like, we're probably getting suspended. And I'm like, what makes you say that? And she's like, well, this is what they do. And I'm like, what? And sure enough, the principal comes out. She talks to us one by one. First she talks to Bonquiqui, and then Bonquiqui leaves. She's not allowed to talk to me when she leaves, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. What's happening? And I've never talked to the principal in my life before. She looks so scary. She was like a redhead, and you know about redheads. No, just kidding. But she pulled me into the office and she was like, what were you ladies doing yesterday? And I said, and then it was like, oh my gosh, what did Bonquiqui say? Should I say the same thing? Is this gonna add up? Am I gonna be arrested? But I was basically just like, we didn't want to go to class, so we had a hair competition. And so she said, you ladies know it is against school rules to miss class, especially not only miss class, but be on school premises while missing class. A hall monitor attempted to stop you and you guys did not stop. You just ran away from her, and that is very disrespectful. And she's just going on, and I'm like, just like, what do you say to that? That's so embarrassing. I don't remember ever being so embarrassed and so like in trouble in my entire life. So basically she said, for these reasons, we're gonna have to suspend you. And this was like kind of the end of the semester, and I was just thinking, well, what do I do with my classes? Do I fail? And she said, no, you're gonna have to do your exams in my office. Sorry, what? At this point I'm thinking, my parents cannot find out about this. I had already had a system for like them not finding out that I skipped school, because they would call my house and they would tell my parents, you know, a student in your, this is how it went, exactly like this. A student in your household named Vanessa was absent for the following periods: 1, 2, 3A, 3B, 4. Please call the school in order to explain blah 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 blah. And it just went on like that, and I knew the time that they would call according to it, because it went by alphabetical it went by alphabetical order who they called based on their last name or something like that. And so I always either put the phone on our house phone, back when people had house phones, I always put the house phone on silent, or like I would pick it up as soon as it rang, or it lit up, because our phone, it would light up and then it would ring. So like I had my way of like going around that, but I'm like, how do I hide a suspension? And I think parents have to sign like a suspension letter so that like you acknowledge that your child or your teenage garbage kid is suspended. And I think I forged their signature and I returned it to the school, and then I continued. I think I was suspended for like a week or two, and then I just pretended to go to school every day. And I don't know what I did. I think my friend and I just like hung out that entire week or two just to like pretend we were going to school, because we didn't want our parents to find out we were suspended. So that's what we did. And then when it came down to our exams, this was the funniest part of the story, and I honestly feel so bad and I can't believe this is a thing. But it came down to the fact that, yeah, I was going to do my exams in the principal's office, and when it was time for me to do that, I would go in, and the principal has a lot of things to do. You don't know how busy a principal is until you have to spend a lot of time in their office. So I'd be in there doing an exam, and she would just leave the office, and I had all my books with me. So I said, okay, I have no surveillance in here. There's no cameras. The receptionist is busy. Everyone else is busy, and the principal isn't even in here. She's probably dealing with some crazy out there. So what did I do? I cheated on all my exams. I was terrible. Like, I was scared of nothing. I don't know how much trouble I could have gotten in for doing that. Like, I was already suspended and I was cheating during my suspension on an exam. Like, that is insane. But basically, that's how I got suspended for my hair and survived to tell the tale. And more than that, because honestly, it was like a privilege. It's really bad. You should not skip class. Education is key. I ended up failing a lot of classes because I skipped so many classes in high school and I had to do a extra semester. I think I mentioned this in a lot of my story times, but go to class, kids, get your education. I know high school can be boring and can be annoying and all of that, but don't be silly. You can have fun out of school hours. Leave it to after school and weekends, you know, evenings and weekends, because at the end of the day, you're going to need your diploma. You're going to need to go to post-secondary education, as whether you agree with the education that they give at high schools or not, which I will be talking about soon. That's going to be a rant that I'm going to go on because I feel like the system is so messed up and backwards. But yeah, like, don't think it's cool to skip class. It's really not. You're gonna end up paying for it at the end of the day. You're gonna end up having to catch up on all this stuff, and it's just really not worth it. It's not worth your time, because really you're just putting in more time at the end of the day. You're gonna be in school longer because you have to pass classes. You don't want to do that. But I hope you guys liked this story time. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already because it's free, and I will see you guys next time.